What a thing, huh?
Yes.
Well, here you are, Laura. You've always wanted to see it.
Where the intro, the first episode ever happened.
This is where it happened, right here.
And it looks like it is a mine, but even the portal is very, it's like the mines that you see in museums. It's got the timber work and everything.
I know, it has that classic mine portal look.
Yes.
And that's why I picked it. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming along again on another fun Saturday adventure. But today's going to be a little bit different, and let me tell you why. So for you guys, it's Saturday, but for us, it is Wednesday, February 26th. And that's a very important day because that means that the channel is 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the anniversary of Abandoned and Forgotten Places. 6 years of exploring abandoned mines, and what a six, I mean, oh my gosh.
That's a lot of mines.
Oh, hundreds of mines. And I'm not talking about just the ones that you guys saw in the videos.
Yeah.
You got to take into consideration all the ones that never made it into a video because maybe they just weren't, up to standards.
They weren't
so
worthy.
If you factor in all of those, the numbers got to be into the thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands. But, we couldn't have gotten here without so many different factors. And I just want to talk about this real quick, guys, on where I came from, how it all started, and how we got here. So in the very beginning, after my chemotherapy, and I sold everything that I owned and liquidated my entire life. And I came out into the world because I wanted to see all the parts of the Western United States that I couldn't, because back when I had my business as well as when I was employed, I did so much running around back then. There was never enough time to stop and look at all these neat places because you're just go all the time. And so after cancer and after chemo, that's why when I came out here, I said, you know what, I'm just going to liquidate everything and go out into the world and start exploring all these places and go in a brand new direction. And that's exactly what I did, guys. And then fast forward a little bit more when I started walking around and rehabilitating myself, because back then I could hardly walk. I could hardly even talk. But I needed to rehabilitate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started leaving my RV and walking out into the wilderness. And I started doing what I loved so much all the way back to the early 80s, and that was exploring abandoned mines. And then the bright idea came up, hey, why don't you bring a camera along with you? And that's exactly what I did. And then fast forward to February 26th, in the year 2019, that's when I started my YouTube channel. And day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year, my YouTube channel acted as my rehabilitation. The hiking and the climbing and all the stuff that I did helped rehabilitate my legs and make them stronger so that I could do more. The editing and the pre-production and the post-production rehabilitated my brain so that I could think and push past chemo brain and all the stuff that the chemo did to my brain, until finally I felt as though I was at least pretty darn close to being whole. And that's when I really started trudging forward with my YouTube channel, and along the way made a ton of friends. Speaking of friends, Russell and Annie, you guys were my very first friends in the channel at Black Metal Landing, and then after that, I rolled into Goldfield,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I met Mr. M, and shortly after Mr. M, I met Randy, two of the greatest guys you could ever run around and explore with. So much fun, so many laughs, buckets of fun, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you guys never got to see a lot of the behind the scenes. It was just crazy fun. Now, I can't leave out all of the people that help support my channel.
Yeah.
okay? It started with some of our largest sponsors, which was Jim Vick back in the day. Jim, if you're still watching these days, thank you so much for all the help that all the financial help you put forward to the channel for climbing gear and climbing equipment and ropes and all of that. And then there was Tina Delwich. Tina, again, wow. I mean, all the things that you've contributed to the channel financially to help Laura get her harness. And all of you guys who put money into the tip jar, as well as you know, buying rocks and merchandise, and the biggest thing of all of you that helped me when Bob blew his engine and everything came to a halt and I had to go through that fiasco for many months. You guys made that happen. You guys helped turn Bob into what you see today. It was you guys that did it. Not only your financial help, but when so many of you jumped on to the channel and literally thousands of dollars started pouring in. That was like, it wasn't just, the money was great, don't get me wrong, but it sent a message to me like, my gosh, look at how many lives that you're touching. Look at how many, you know, look at what you're doing for so many people that can't get out and do this kind of thing. And it just absolutely warmed my heart, and it made me push further and push harder to keep trying to find neat places, you know. And of course, along the way, you know, I had my ups and downs and frustrations. Some of that came out on camera, some of it didn't, you know, because, you know, working on the YouTube platform is not an easy thing to do. It can be really frustrating at times. But there was just you know, such an adventure.
Don't forget about Canadian Frank.
Oh, I was just getting to that.
Okay.
Just getting to that. Now, as a guy who just starts out a YouTube channel, I mean, it is so hard. You can go on YouTube and you can listen to many content creators that are just they're pouring their guts into their videos, but their channels just aren't doing anything. They're not growing. And the people that helped me out in the very beginning, I need to go back even before Canadian Frank. I need to put out a thank you to Frank Home.
Oh, the original YouTube Mine Explorer.
The original YouTube Mine Explorer. When I was fledgling with just a few videos, Frank Home from Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places, he saw my channel and he actually gave me that initial first push that I needed, okay? And then it was about a year later is when I got a hold of Canadian Frank, or Frank Schlichting, from Exploring Abandoned Mines up in Canada, and that's when him and I started working together. He came down here, and that's what pushed the channel to 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize. You know, he was the biggest push. And then all of you guys that I've collaborated with over the years, like Pin in the Atlas and Jeff Williams, you know, that helped the channel too. So I'm telling you, this has been truly the best 6 years of my life. I mean, it really has. This is the best 6 years of my life. What a wonderful, awesome experience it has been. So I'd imagine that some of you by about right now, you're saying, uh-oh, this is this is one of those speeches where they eventually say, all right, guys, thank you. All right, thank you so much. And then you walk out of but no, this is not that. This is not that. You see, guys, Laura and I, we absolutely love abandoned mines. It's part of our lifestyle.
We can't get enough of them. We
just can't. It's part of our lifestyle, and so is, you know, camping and backpacking and anything outdoors or running around, you know, doing 4x4 and stuff like that. It has been, it is, and it always will be part of our lifestyle. So no, this is not a goodbye, but what this is Laura and I telling you guys that we're going to take a break for a little while. And here's why. We've got some loose ends in our personal lives that we need to get tied up. Okay, Laura's got to go back to Reno. I've got to go back to Wyoming. And we're coming into the month of March now. So we've got some time between through March to get all of these things done.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we head back to Nevada and start documenting mines in April. Now, I don't know how long this is going to be, guys. It could be a few weeks. I just don't know. There's too many unknowns and too many variables out there right now to give you a definitive answer. But as soon as we get done with all of that stuff, we're going to get back out there because we got some really neat places we want to show you in Nevada. Yeah, some really cool spots. Really cool spots. But in the meantime, what we would like to do is, you know, we're going to put up a rerun today of a mine that we feel was probably the most dangerous thing that we documented last spring and summer.
Yes.
This morning I said, Laura, think back to last spring and summer. What do you think was the most dangerous mine that we went into?
And there was one that immediately popped into my head. It's like, yeah, I can't think of any other ones that are at the top tier for that one being as dangerous as it was.
No, this one took
the cake.
This one takes the cake.
That one gave me the creeps. It was not a very friendly mine.
No, and this is the one, I don't know if you guys can remember it, but when we were in the mixed metals mine, I mentioned this same mine that I'm about to show you, where I said that on the way back up, a ladder gave way or a board gave way, and the entire thing below us gave way and fell into the bottom of the shaft like a giant house of cards.
Yeah.
And of course, we were on our way back up and no cameras were turned on, so we didn't catch any of that. But I can't begin to express how scary it was to have that much stuff around you fall away below your feet and go crashing into the bottom.
Yep.
And when it all happened, I just sat there because I was on rope, and I just sat there and I was like, I just closed my eyes and I was hoping that nothing up would have come down too, and it didn't. It was only the stuff below us. Thank goodness. But yeah, scary one indeed. So that's what we're going to show you guys right now. So hang in there. We're not done. Not yet.
Nope.
Enjoy this weekend's rerun, and we will see you guys again sometime down the road. Guys, thank you so much for hanging in there and listening to my little spiel here. Appreciate it so much. Let's get started. Well, hey everybody. Welcome back. Okay, another fun-filled Saturday. We're going to be doing this one a little bit different today. Let me tell you why. Okay, so we're headed off to a gold mine that was pretty popular back in the day because the miners hit what's called a bonanza load. Now, I've explained to y'all what high grading is, okay? And sometimes when miners were high grading silver and gold ore, they run into what's called bonanza ore. Super, super rich, just full of gold. And that's what we found in this mine. So the one that we're headed to was first discovered in 1908, but larger, let's just call it larger scale production didn't occur until 1910. And then that's when they dropped in the incline shaft and put in all of these drifts, etc., etc. Now, fast forward all the way to the 80s. An outfit came out here and they took a stab at this location, and they were able to produce 500 ounces using the cyanide leaching technique. And after they got done, they cleaned up their mess and then they left. And ever since then, there's been sporadic prospectors here and there. But the reason that we're not going to show you guys the outside of this location today, we're not going to show you where it's at or do any drone work or show you the shaft, is because this mine is full of unexploded dynamite. And I'm not talking about the kind of dynamite that's newer and safer. I'm talking about the kind of dynamite from the early 1900s, from about, like in this case, 1908 to upwards of 1910, 19. That stuff is the true blue nitroglycerin and sawdust kind of dynamite, okay?
The kind you always hear about to stay away from.
Right, the kind that you never want to touch, never want to step on. It's the absolute most dangerous kind of unexploded dynamite, and it's laying all over the 50-foot level. And so to protect the public, we don't want people to know where this is. We don't want people watching our video and getting into it and coming out here and doing something dumb. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to get up here. We're going to set up all of our ropes, because what we've got is we've got a 250-foot incline shaft with multiple levels. So to keep us safe, we're going to set up our ropes, get down to the 50-foot level, and that's when we're going to turn our cameras on, okay? All right, well, we got a ways to go yet up this bumpy road. So we'll see y'all when we get down to the 50-foot level. All right, guys, it's about an hour later. So what we did is we got our rope tied off nice and secure up top. It's only 50 feet from here to the top of the shaft, and the incline is only at about a little bit more than a 45-degree angle. Maybe 50, 60, somewhere in there. It's not too darn steep, but the ladder's were in really good shape from here to the top. So we ran the rope down, put it in a nice prep, what I call a prep pile, so as we feed down into the rest of the shaft, it'll come nice and easy into the bottom. Speaking of the bottom, like I said, I think I said earlier, this is a 250-foot shaft. We've got a drift at the 130. And then what was the other one, Laura?
Was it or was it 170?
Yeah, it's like, was it?
I think it was 130.
We got it was like the 50, the 130,
and then the 180.
Yeah, something like that, and then finally the 250.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of going off of memory. Now, before I show you all the dynamite, and that's the reason why, like I said, why I didn't want to reveal this mine. First of all, I'm gonna stand over here. Laura, come on over this direction. And kind of point down here towards the hatch. So you see this, guys? See how the ladder goes down into the hole and into the rest of the shaft? This is called the hatch. Remember I showed you a hatch on the newspaper mine? Well, look at all the rock that's laying on top of this hatch, completely undisturbed. How many decades would it have taken for all this rock to cover up the hatch down to 3 or 4 inches of rock? So in order to get into the rest of this mine, we got to move all this rock, flip open the hatch, and go deeper. But the cool thing is the fact that all this rock is laying here. That tells us that no one's been into the depths of this mine for decades. Probably early 80s, even further back than that. So that's the first task that we're going to have to do, is we got to dig all this out in order to go deeper. All right, now that I showed you that, I want to show you this. Okay, first, let me take the camera and point it up towards the shaft. You can see the sunlight up there. So the ladder goes vertical for about 15-20 feet, then comes down on this angle. Okay? All right. Turning off to my left here. We got a bunch of just scattered wood around here. Here's what's left of a kind of maybe a repurposed dynamite box. And then over here, this is what is terrifying. Take a look. I'm just going to go up to right about here. I'm not going to go any further because I don't even want to get close to it. All right, look at what's over there on the ground. You see all of it? Now I'm going to zoom in on a piece right there. And I'm going to put my finger down next to it so you can see that the diameter of it is about the diameter of my thumb. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second after I get done showing all of it to you. But the reason I'm not going to go any further is some of this might be hiding. Look at all that dynamite. You can tell almost up there it used to be in a case. the reason I'm not going to go any further is because some of it might be hiding underneath these rocks. But it's just scattered. It's like somebody took dynamite and threw it up in the air like confetti. All right, let's get back over here to Laura. I'm going to hand the camera to her so I can explain to you why that particular kind of dynamite is so dangerous. All right, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn my headlamp down a little bit here, like that. I'm going to take this piece of wood right here, and we're going to pretend that this piece of wood is a single jack. You guys know what a single jack is. It's just one piece of steel. Okay, it's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter. It has a chiseled end on it, and a single jack was used because it was used by one man. That's why it's called a single jack. And what he would do is he'd put it up against the face and hit it with his mallet, then turn, then hit, then turn, then hit, then turn, then hit, and just keep doing that. Okay, because back in the early 1900s, they didn't have those drills like we like later on. Okay, and so after you kept on doing that, you eventually drilled a hole into the rock, and then you can insert the dynamite. Now a double jack is where the steel is a little bit longer, and you got one guy holding it like I am right now. Imagine it being longer though, and the second guy whacking it with the mallet, and the guy holding onto the steel is the guy that's turning it, so on and so forth, after every single hit. That's called a double jack because you got two people, okay? Now, how does all of that relate to the dynamite that we have over here? It's the diameter. In the early 1900s, between 1900 and about 1915, kind of in that area, all the dynamite had, it was just sawdust and nitroglycerin. And the single jacks back then, were only about 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter. Well, after you drill in a hole 3/4 to an inch in diameter, well, you certainly can't stick a slug of dynamite in there that's 1 inch or 1.25 or 1.5 inches like we found so many times in many of the mines that we visited. No, you needed a smaller, narrower stick of dynamite to slide in there. That's why when I get into these mines, like this one, and I see skinny dynamite, 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter, I know for a fact that stuff is early 1900s, and its composition is nitroglycerin and sawdust. Hazard number 1. Hazard number 2, now that I'm seeing that kind of dynamite, that means that we're in the era where they were using the kind of blasting caps that have mercury fulminate in them, okay? Now, that stuff is super sensitive, especially when it gets old, and you only have to step on it, and it'll blow the tip of your foot right clean off. If any of you guys have watched that brand new series on Amazon Prime called Fallout, there's a segment in there where the guy gets his foot stepped on by the big iron monster thingy, and his foot is all mush like hamburger. That's exactly what your foot would look like if you stepped on a mercury fulminate blasting cap. And now that I've seen that, there's a good possibility that those caps might also be in this mine, okay? So I'm always making observations. This is a very dangerous mine, and that's why we're not revealing its location. Okay, so we're gonna set the camera up in a special spot, and we're gonna start removing all this rock so we can flip the hatch over, all right? Okay, guys, let's get after it. All right, there you go, guys. Can you see me from there? Yeah, that's probably too bright. Okay, something like that. All right, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to hand the camera over to Laura because let me switch this around here. We got a little bit of workings over here, but I don't want to kick this dust and dirt down, so I'm just going to hand the camera to her, and she's going to show you what's on the other side of the shaft. There you go.
Alright, so over here we have some rail and an old bucket, probably from the 80s is what we're guessing. And off to the left there is, might have been a little drift. It's all gobbed up. may have gone back there. It's hard to tell, but backfilled now. Oh, turning back around to the right. And they've got a ladder going up into a raise, is what it looks like. That's back there. I think that might have caved from the surface, but turning around to the left and looking up the ladder. There's the first ladder that I just looked at, the second ladder with the vent pipe, and then it looks like it might just be a pocket up there that they were working. I don't see any other cameras up there. Going back down and around to the left, back over towards the shaft where Gly is. Just a short little spot that they were working. As I said, this was probably the last place that our modern day prospectors, since we had to uncover the hatch. And
yeah, I'm guessing that this material that made its way on top of the hatch is probably from the late 70s, early 80s, and it's taken from those years till now to finally build up this much rock falling off the back of the mine. Now these ladders here, they look pretty good. I mean, but I'm not going to take any chances, so I'm going to go ahead and head on down. Laura, I'm going to let you feed me the tail as I work deeper and deeper, and then when I get down to the first level, I'll get offline and I'll yell at you.
all right.
All right, guys. Let me flip the camera around here. Point into the bottom. And here we go.
Once you get down a bit, I'll get over on that side.
All right.
Or actually, do you want to stay right there and maybe I can squeeze behind so I don't kick any material on you?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll just stay right here.
All right.
Got it?
Yep.
All right. Oh, I can't. For right now, I got to do this left hand. I don't like doing that. I got no choice. Let me fix my camera. Get it over here to my right hand. I'm not the kind of guy, I can't do a left hand descender. Why is that so tight? Let's try this here. Yeah, that's better. All right, guys, here we go. Now, I'm probably not going to take you with me the whole way down the ladder. You guys know all about ladders and that kind of stuff. You've seen that before, so let me just take you for another minute here so you get an idea of what I'm doing. That's just my breath. I got my O2 sensor and my H2S monitor high up on my chest. It's closer to my mouth. All right. I think we might have a small drift right here. Okay, and let me step over. All right, guys, I'm going to point the camera down there. There's our drift, our first one, and it looks like there's another hatch too that we're going to have to clean. So I'll tell you what, I'll just meet you down there. This drift over here is nothing. Let me flip the camera around and show you. We got nothing but a pack rat. See him? We got a big old juicy pack rat right there. It might go around the corner here. I can't tell. Here, let me get offline real quick. Let me, 1 second here. Yeah. 1 second. I gotta fix my thing here. This is all bound up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, rope work is always a pain in the butt. Let me film this real quick, Laura.
All right.
Be right back. All right, Mr. Pack Rat. I can see you're hiding over there, aren't you? Let's go around the corner here. Let's look. Where you at? Where you at, mister? Oh, there's your nest. Yeah, there's your nest. You're hiding in here. All right, turning around. Let's look up here. Really smells bad of sulfides down in here. Yep. All right, that's it for there. And I'm going to hold the camera perfectly level. There, the camera is perfectly level and so are the gimbals. So now you have an idea of how steep that ladder is. Okay guys, I'm going to get back online, go down to the next level, and then call up to Laura for her to come down. I'll be back. All right, there we are, first level. I think this is like the 130 or 150, something like that. You can see here the ladder continues going down, and look at all of the rock that's sitting on top of the hatch, all buried and covered up. So we're gonna have to do some more digging. Over here, we got a drift going off this way. I'm just gonna point the camera up real quick since we're here. There is the shaft, and you can still see sunlight right up there, so you know we're not that deep. Okay, let's go this way first, and let's see what we've got. Let's see what we got. Well, one thing we've got is stink. Oh, I see critters. Another critter. We got mice. Let me turn my lights up a little bit here. There we go. Oh yeah, we got a whole family of mice in here. Look, guys. There's their nest. They're hiding under that. The nest is right there to the right. And they're all hiding under that piece of wood right there. Oh, there's Mama. There's Mama or Daddy right behind the tin. Hey, how you doing? Does this go anywhere? I don't want to step on any of you. Here, let me just, I'm just pointing the camera down. Oh yeah, they're all hiding under that wood. Okay, you guys stay hidden there while I go up here and kind of look around. Does this do anything? Well, it did. And then they backfilled it. At least I think this is backfill. Let's go find out. I'm down on my hands and knees here. Let's go look. I think I got a raise right above my head. Okay. Let me look up here. Yeah, see? We got a raise right there, and the ladder going up a raise is missing. Over there is it faces out, and on the wall, let me point the, let's see here. Down there, right there, it says something /2 or 12, but it's not a year. All right, turning around. I'm heading back. I don't want to set the camera here for a second until I get on my feet. You got mice running all over.
I think that's a Hills Brother can.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, careful. There was a baby. Don't want to step on any of you. And All right, we're past the mice. Let's look up that other drift, Laura. Let's see what that one's all about. Okay. What do we got over here? Just goes up and stops. This is some real interesting looking porphyry material here. Huh.
That side seems more stable than this side.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, that's some interesting looking stuff. Reminds me of goldfield geology. All right. Well, I'm sure you guys don't want to see us diggy and make a bunch of dust, so we're going to shut the cameras off and start digging out this hatch and heading down, okay? All right, we'll meet back up with you. See you in a bit. All right, there we go. We got that one uncovered. This one only had about 3 or 4 inches of dirt on it. But let me show you what we're getting into here before I get back on the rope. Let's look down there. Yikes. Yikes. Look at how the shaft is starting to buckle and crumble, and the ladders are getting all real nasty down here. So I'll have you hold that for a second, Laura. The mine quickly went from friendly to, okay, now I'm kind of thinking about hurting you. So definitely not going to do this without being on the rope. Nope. Okay. Put it through my special little thingy-jingy there. Fix the handle. And down I go. Into the great wide open. All right. Here we go. Let me get the camera in the right position. You guys can see what's kind of going on. Let me turn this one on. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Boy, that is such a pain. Wait, 1 second here. I gotta make an adjustment. There, okay. And we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of this thing safely. I don't know. I'll go as far as I can for y'all. But boy, oh boy. Let me get the camera right in there. See, it's almost, I don't know. I don't understand how them boards were able to buckle like that. That's really weird. That's really weird. But we're gonna try to skirt past it here. Nice and slow. Yeah. Look at how them, see how all those are snapped? Wow. Well, I see another drift level. Let's hope that's the 250. I think it is. It's got to be. Because we're about ready to run out of rope. Now I put my air monitors lower on my pant leg. So if I start descending into a bubble of CO2, they'll catch it. start going off. This ladder's getting a little bit more wiggly here, so I'm just taking it slow, one step at a time. And what Laura's doing up top is she's feeding the tail of the rope so that the tail doesn't come down here and end up in a big old bird's nest that you have to try to untangle while you're climbing ladders. Yeah, we got a tricky part down here, Laura.
So where the ladder was knocked off?
But I think I can get past it. It's not going to be easy. All right, guys. There's no way I can do this and hold the camera. You see the broken ladder right here? So I got to try to navigate this. I'll be back. All right, guys, there we go. Made it. Yeah, take a look at me here. Not too much headroom in this mine. My head's hitting the top. And we've got asbestos all over the place down here. Now, sometimes this is asbestos and sometimes it's another mineral. It starts with a SP something. I don't remember. If I'll pull it up and put it on screen to let you know what I'm talking about. Here it is right here. There you go. That stuff right there, that's what I found down in the bottom of the Admiral Aaron Ward mine, okay? And then asbestos is completely different. It's more compact, but this looks to me a lot more like asbestos. Let me show you. See all those fine filaments down there? Okay. It's the more curly stuff. If you see that, then you're okay. Now, pointing off towards the shaft, all right, we're in the bottom. I'll show you guys the sump here in a minute, but we've got a drift going off that way, and we've got one at my back. So if the shaft goes up and to the left from there, just to orientate you, I'm turning around now. We're going to explore the left-hand side of the shaft, and we are indeed on the 250-foot level. Now look at this old vent pipe. The last time I've seen that was, we're definitely in the 20s, teens or 20s down in here. Very, very, very crumbly, pulvery material. Take a look at this, guys. Look at the, oh wow. Look at the crystals. All right, we're gonna try multiple different lights here so I can point this out. Start there. We're gonna turn that one down. Okay. And then we're gonna turn this one down and get in on it. Laura's light's freaking out again, that darn thing. Look at it, looks like moss. Let me put my hand up there for scale. Look at all them little pokies, crystals sticking out. Isn't that cool, Laura? Wow, last time I saw a deposit like that was when I sent the torpedo cam down a shaft. Too cool.
Very, very fine.
Very fine crystals.
Looks like it just disintegrated if you touched it.
Yeah. All right, gotta get my lights back going here. There we go. All right, let me get in front of you there. We gotta be on the watch out for caps and dynamite. We do have rail down on the floor. See how this is, okay, so the flaky stuff that you're seeing off to the right here that's coming down and it knocked down the vent pipe, that's all what's called kaolinite, okay? And as moisture comes in contact with kaolinite, it expands, and that's why a lot of these stalls, these support stalls, but take a look, as it expands, here, can you hold that?
Yep.
Watch this, guys. As it expands, it flakes just real easy. I don't want to, this is ready to go, that's ready to go. You remember that mine, guys, where I got down in it and I thought that a ghost had slapped me on my butt, and that's why I got the heck out of there. Well, that's the whole entire thing was just surrounded with this kaolinite. And as this stuff expands, it puts pressure on those stoles. And so a lot of the cracked stoles you see in mines around Goldfield is because of the kaolinite expanding. And that slow compression of the stoles occurs over decades. Definitely not overnight and definitely not year by year. It's decades to do that. Okay. Here we go. All right, we got real rail down in here and a kerosene tin. Ouch. An old kerosene tin right there. All right, now the mine goes off that direction, and it also keeps going this way. A little bit of miner's graffiti right there. Some kind of a symbol. Wow. Well, nobody's been down here for a long time. Nope. Look at the porphyry. Wow. Just coming down. Yikes. All right, so the mine goes up here and makes a hard left-hand turn. A complete 90 degrees. All right, here we go. Oh, this is so cool. You know, it's quite possible. Well, we're gonna find out. Is our 80 miners gonna? Yeah, darn it. Shoot. See? Keystone Light. Another one. Keystone Light. So our 80s prospectors were down in here. All right, we'll come back and we'll revisit this one. Let's keep going. So indeed, oh, it just stops right there. And that's it. You know why those 80s guys were down in here? They're looking for that bonanza stuff. All right, turned around. Let's head off this way. The reason I'm going first, Laura, is I'm the one with the air monitors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. What's it gonna do up here? Boy, I better not find anybody's calling card. I'd be really upset. Nope. Just an old tin can. Looks like an old fuel can. Look at all the sulfur coming out of here. Look at that. How yellow. All right, nothing up here, Laura. Let's head back. Boy, you just don't know until
you get down here.
Until you get down in here. Okay. At least I can kind of stand up. Okay. Now let's head back over here. Get around the 90. Hit your head on the back and knock a bunch of rock down your shirt. That's always pleasant. All right, so now we got to go up this way. Well, I hope we can find some artifacts up here. All right, guys, I'll be back. I'm huffing and puffing too much. Just give me a second. I'm gonna sit down here on this old tin can and take a break. All right, guys, there we go. So the way you're looking right now is back towards the shaft. This is that cross cut that we didn't explore. Let's go check it out. Is that a match?
Yeah, a wooden match.
That's a wooden match, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, little thing that they started going up that way and stopped. I see why they did it, guys. You see the margin right there? That's why they were chasing that. Remember, in hard rock mines, most of the gold forms right at the margin. That's why they went that way. Here we're kind of going up in grade by about 1.5%, 2%. But what's it gonna do? Anything fun? Nothing that way. But over here, powder. Yeah, I'll turn that down. Turn that down. That looks like a Hercules. Yep. Point your light upwards. There you go. Let you guys look at it. Good. And then over here, guys, is another one of those tins. Not sure what they were putting in there. Maybe white gas. Maybe something for their lamps. Oh yeah, indeed, it is Hercules. Yep. Hercules. Okay. But I'm not seeing any dynamite. Nope. Let's look off this direction real quick. Nope. All right. Back to the shaft. Now for the tricky part. You know what the tricky part is, Laura?
Getting over to the other drift.
Yeah,
on the other side of the shaft.
In order for us to get to the other side, we're going to have to get back on the rope and carefully navigate past the sump. So let's get up here. I'm going to show you guys the sump to this mine. They always dropped in about 25 to 50 feet depth of a sump on a vertical or an incline shaft, and that's so that gives the place for the water to go to. Get a heavy rain or something like that, and the water fills up the sump instead of the mine. All right, I'll get past you here. Show everybody what's going on with the sump. Let me get up here. Get back on the ladder. All right, see, the drift goes off that direction. And then this is looking down. You can see our rope down there. Let me get a light going. All right, there it is. There's the sump. And the pack rat's gone. Apparently he was alive. He's not there no more, Laura.
Is he gone?
He's gone.
Just resting?
Yeah, I thought he was dead. So that's it, guys. There's no more levels down there or nothing. And there's our rope all spooled out. Now, to get over to this other side, here you're gonna have to kind of get somewhere in here. Maybe you can sit on your butt. Yeah, go ahead and get comfortable. You're going to be there for a few minutes. Okay. Got it? Alrighty. Alright, guys, let me get... See, have you ever... Y'all that are watching right now, whenever we do a shaft explore, it's always totally different than a traditional horizontal haulage adit explore. Shaft explorers go a whole heck of a lot slower. You got to go slow, take your time, so you don't get hurt. So now what I have to try to do, I got all this debris hanging above me. I got to try to get to that level and swing over there.
Is that beam down there strong enough that you can step on it behind you?
I think so. I think I can step on that, maybe. I just don't want to kick these rocks on me. All right, well, I'm about to find out. Yep. Yikes. Okay, I think I can, yep, all right. I can take the camera and set it, there we go, over here to a safe spot. Like that, maybe. Stay. Come on. All right. I feel comfy that I can get offline now. Come here. Get off of there, you little bugger. There. All right. Your turn. I'm going to go over here and get out of the way. Find a place where I can sit. Right here. Okay, guys. I'm going to show you what we got going on here. You can see Laura over there. She's going to do the same thing that I just got done doing and navigate her way towards me. So I'll be back. All right, guys, there we go. Looking back towards Laura and the shaft. She navigated that very well. Good job, Laura. You are a natural. I tell you what. You're the coolest chick I know. Okay. All right, turning around. So right here, immediately, let me show you what welcomed us. I'm not going to get any closer to it. All right, I'm just going to kind of narrow out the light. You see that box right up there? We have a whole case of dynamite right there. Below the box, we've got a blasting cap tin right there. Off to the left, I'm just going to narrow the light down so it acts like a pointer. There's a whole spool of safety fuse. Okay. So, safety fuse, full case of dynamite, blasting caps, a Union Carbide tin, and so I'm going to try to poke the camera in such a way to where I can get a good thumbnail out of that. Probably something like that maybe. And I also do these for pictures. Sometimes I give them to the museum. There you go. Wow. Huh. Don't do that, dummy. Okay. I'm going to get past that area. And we're going to see what's up here. More kaolinite flaking off. Big chunks down here. It's super soft to walk on. It's like walking on a sponge. Wow. Remember when me and Mr. M went down the that one mine just outside of Goldfield? We took that manway and got into the bottom. This is exactly what the same kind of geology, everything. Super stinky, lots of sulfur stink down in here. I hope there isn't any more dynamite hiding underneath this stuff. Oh wow, look at all of the rock fall. Look at all the kaolinite coming down. All right, this one also went over and did a full 90-degree turn in the same direction as the other drift did. Let's see what we have up here. Any treasures? More dynamite? Maybe. We got a dynamite box. Part of the box right there. Our friends from the 80s were down in here. All right, Laura, I'll have you come on this far. Have you point the camera at me. Okay, let's look around down here. There's a piece of paper that goes inside the dynamite box. Oh, mouse nest. I.H. Kent, Fallon, Nevada. Hercules, California. This one came out of Fallon, Nevada. So you had what you had there is a reseller that they ordered it up, and then these guys bought it from them. All right, let's keep looking here. Yeah, there's the other one, Fallon, Nevada. I'm looking for dates. Looking for dates. Dangerous, high explosives, DuPont. High explosives, no date on that one. That one's all, oh, here we go. I think we got it. All right, let's turn this light down, that light down. Right there, guys, 190, is that 1909?
Yeah, it looks like 1909.
1909. It's either an 8 or a 9. Right there. 1908 or 1909, one or the other, guys. 40% strength. See, I knew we were in the, that's why those sticks of dynamite are so skinny. All right, I'll take that. Thank you. Now the real question is, how did they end up in a cardboard box? Let's turn around. Because I don't think they had cardboard boxes in 1909.
No.
So somebody grabbed up maybe those sticks and put them in that cardboard box.
Yeah.
Later on, years later. But it's the same dynamite. Mm-hmm. It may be in a cardboard, but okay, let's head back that way. Nothing left in here. Wow. I hope we don't get an earthquake in here. Yikes. Yeah, that's all I can think of is fast forward years later, maybe in the 50s or the 60s, somebody was down here, saw that dynamite, put it in a box. All right, headed back to the shaft and over to the dynamite. I want to get one last look at it because there was some writing on that box. It says Kraft Kitchen Fresh mayonnaise. It's a mayonnaise box. Indeed. All right, that's not a place to loiter. All right, guys, that is it. So I tell you what we're gonna do. Here, let me get to a place where I can stop dropping rocks on the dynamite. Can you see me from there? Whew.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, here. There you go. If you point that at me. There we go. We did it. What'd you think of that, Laura?
It was impressive. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of artifacts down here, but the fact that we found that dynamite box that dates back to when they first discovered this area, and
yeah,
I mean, I've never seen this much dynamite, especially the old, really unstable kind.
The really
mine before.
Yeah. They're really super unstable.
So I can check that off the list.
And that's why we didn't want to show this to anybody, the location or any of that, because that's what we heard through the grapevine, that this was loaded. We had lots of unexploded dynamite. A few of you down in the comments section, you asked, how did they get the nitroglycerin into the sawdust during the manufacturing process of the dynamite? Well, what they had is they had an aluminum. Think of an aluminum base, right? And then off that aluminum base, or brass, there's a aluminum or a brass spindle, okay, that's sitting up. And what they do is they take the dynamite outside tube and they put it over the top of that spindle, and then they pack it. They pack the sawdust all the way around the spindle, just like you're making a black powder rocket in fireworks, hobby fireworks, okay? And they're packing that sawdust around the spindle, and once it's all packed, then when they pull it up, there's a hole that runs the length of the dynamite, okay? Then what they do is they turn the dynamite over, and very carefully they pour the nitroglycerin down that hole, cap it off with a little bit of more sawdust, roll the ends, and then lay it on the side. That's so that you get an even disbursement of nitroglycerin from the one end to the other end of the dynamite. That's really important, because when you're putting in one stick and then another stick and another stick, you don't want to have like a gap between each stick, if you follow me, okay? And that's how nitroglycerin sawdust, real old dynamite, that's how it was manufactured. All right, guys, I had fun with this one, but we still got to get the heck out of here. It's always fun going back up. So I don't know what we're going to have for you this coming Wednesday or the following Saturday, but I guarantee it's going to be something super cool. Guys, thank you so much for coming along on this Explorer. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see y'all again sometime down the road. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.